Hello everybody and welcome back to Red Eagle Politics. Make sure you guys like this video down below and subscribe to the channel if you are new. So Donald Trump, there were a lot of questions. Would he ever come back to Twitter, or as many people now call it X, because Elon Musk has changed the name from Twitter to X? And the answer now is yes. Donald Trump has made his triumphant return, and he's gained several million followers since his return. And he has started to kind of post. He's not tweeting it like he tweets on Truth Social, which may actually be a good thing because it's mainly being used, it seems, like a campaign account. He's posting all of the advertisements. He's posting, these on-message statements. And most notably of all, he did a Twitter space with Elon Musk last night that broke all sorts of records. And you see this here. Already 26.4 million during the space, which lasted for, in terms of when they were talking, it lasted for over 2 hours. Donald Trump and Elon Musk had a very, very productive conversation. A lot of people tuned in just from the donation link alone from the space. They raised over $1 million just from the space in and of itself, which is great news. That's all small dollar donors. Doesn't sound like a lot, but just from a Twitter space with a link, that is definitely something big. And you had a lot of people watching, a lot of people tuned in, and Donald Trump is leaving no stone unturned this election cycle. People are upset he's only doing 2 rallies a week, which again, he's waiting for the DNC to really start off his, official rally tour that's going to be going down the stretch. But also the guy was almost killed like a month ago today actually, and everybody seemingly has forgotten about it. It's kind of been memory hold because they know that just talking about it, all those photos of Trump looking like a badass with his fist in the air with the blood running down his face, they don't exactly like that imagery because they know it makes Donald Trump look strong. It makes him look like a fierce fighter, high energy. That's leadership right there. But that's beside the point. They did talk about that. They talked about a lot of issues in the Twitter space. Trump and Elon, definitely, they've got different, I guess you would say, interests regarding things like energy. But they did come together. Not everybody is going to want to drive a Tesla. Trump gets that. Elon gets it. Trump is not totally anti-electric car. And Trump actually said something that I've been saying for a long time, in multiple instances, especially regarding the electric cars. Trump said, why not put solar panels on the electric cars? That would kind of make sense. I've been saying that for a while. If you're on a road trip, you don't have to stop and refill I guess you would say the electronic gas tank, or just recharging the battery basically is what it is in reality. But there's just so many things that they talked about that I thought was very interesting. Trump also, for a while, in terms of the changing climate, Trump has kind of been this guy that's always said, oh, it's not real, whatever. A lot of people don't like it. And people, even on the right, are going to debate it. Personally, I don't know what percentage is caused by, humans and what they're contributing, but definitely it's probably they're contributing something that's causing a little bit of the change. But I do think it's overblown. And Trump said, we need people like Elon taking care of the problem, not, government spending, not trying to limit red meat consumption. And it's true. You have a lot of people panicking, climate hysteria, these people that are anti-natalist. They want people to stop having kids. That's kind of what J.D. Vance was talking about when he had that whole controversy about the whole cat ladies comment. But it's true. A lot of people on the left are anti-family. They're anti-natalist, and a lot of their policies are too. And Donald Trump is calling it out, but he still has this middle ground solution to the climate issue. And that's another thing that they talked about. And I think it's a good thing that they had this discussion all around. It got a lot of publicity. A lot of liberals are melting down. And that's how you know it was good, because if you can't spin it to be a negative, you just really are on the back foot. But you look at this all around. Trump posting advertisements, getting to over 10 million views or so on social media. And it feels like he was missing from the public sphere. He's on Instagram, he's on Facebook now, but he's only using Truth Social. And yeah, keep the all caps late night stuff on Truth. And then on Twitter, post like the campaign stuff, because that is huge. Donald Trump went out there. I think that he posted something I think it was yesterday. He posted something, "Are you better off now, or were you better off when I was president?" Nearly 1 million likes on that tweet. You know, Kamala Harris, Biden, they've always had these like counts that can get up there, but Donald Trump, no, he can break X. He can get, a lot of people on his side, and he's got Elon Musk on his side too, which is absolutely huge. And I'd like to see him do more events like this. I know that he kind of gotten this spat on Truth Social about Joe Rogan, but he's got a big audience. Can Trump get on that podcast? Because I'm sure that would also do numbers. If he's not going to be doing rallies every day, he might as well do the rounds in the media, but also the more alternative media like this that's not exactly in the mainstream media. And that's what's causing a lot of these people to panic. But they talked at length. They said, we don't have a president right now. And it's true, we don't. We don't have a president. Biden's not running the country. Kamala Harris is basically next in command. She owns his record. Now she wants people to forget about the last 4 years and become president. The one critique I have of Trump is that when he's talking about Biden, it's an opportunity to say the Biden-Harris administration, which he's done it to an extent, but I'd like to see more of it. But all around, good messaging overall, and you could tell it was good messaging. He went for 2 hours straight. Kamala Harris can't even go for 2 minutes straight, and they're coping so hard. They're like, Elon is interviewing Trump live on Twitter. We're not calling it X. Their children is what they are. And they're like, it's not enough that he's donating money. He's allowing Trump to spread his unhinged and hateful agenda to millions of users. And it's like, what unhinged and hateful agenda? Strong borders is unhinged and hateful. A strong economy is unhinged and hateful. An America First foreign policy that causes, less conflict across the globe is unhinged and hateful. It's unhinged in their view, maybe because these people are unhinged and they think that whatever they see as normal is the destructive status quo. And that's the thing. And they're seething about it. Oh, look, they're raising all this money. He's raising money for Trump. And it's like, okay, well, how many of these, billionaires or whatever have donated to the Harris campaign? A lot of them, by the way. But they're just using it to raise money. And you look at what they're saying. Oh, he's rambling. They started off glitchy, and it's like they were DDoS attacked, and they still got the space together. It wasn't exactly like the DeSantis campaign launch Twitter space, which had far less people, but was just super glitchy. There was a big delay because they were getting DDoSed, and people weren't allowed to get in. And then eventually it started, and they went on for 2 hours without any technical difficulties. And they just keep going on. It was an embarrassing disaster, this guy writes. Really? Really? They can't exactly say why it was embarrassing. They just call it embarrassing because, I don't know, he just happened to exist, and they're coping. They are. They're coping. There's no other way around it. They can't exactly pick apart what Trump said that was so bad in the interview. They can't. They're just like, oh, well, Elon he's interviewing him. He supports Trump. It's not a fair interview. It's like, okay, Kamala Harris won't even go on friendly media. But Donald Trump is the one that has the problem because he's getting interviewed by Elon Musk, somebody who, does not agree with him on everything. And they're just having an intellectual conversation. I mean, this is embarrassing. The gaslighting campaign is just, it's insane, man. It is insane. But you look at this, they are lying now. They're like, Trump's words were slurred as he phoned in. Let's try to hear the slurring in this clip. I mean, all they do is lie because that's all they have. They can't win on the issues. They can't even talk to the press. They just lie behind a computer screen and hope the NPCs all fall in line. And we'll see. But this election has become even more of a big IQ test for this country. But let's play this clip.
But the former president's words were extremely slurred as he phoned in from Mar-a-Lago in front of a flattering painting of himself. Here's some of what Trump had to say.
And who cares? He has a painting of himself in his house, so no, it's over. Okay, and? Why is that even news?
I know Putin very well. I got along with him very well. He respected me, and it's just one of those things. And we would talk a lot about Ukraine. It was the apple of his eye. But I said, don't ever do it. Don't ever do it. You can't do it, Vladimir. You do it, it's going to be a bad day. You cannot do it. And I told him things that what I do, and he said, no way. And I said, way.
So Trump just kind of comes off a little funny. Where's the slur? Where is it? How were his words extremely slurred? There was a point where the audio kind of got a little fuzzy because that's what happens sometimes when you're on Twitter Spaces, and that's normal. It even happens on the mainstream media. You're like on a phone call, basically. How exactly are these words slurred? Like, are the people exactly going to buy this nonsense? What level of gaslighting? This is why these same people say Trump is spreading misinformation. Then they go out there and do this. They say that Donald Trump is a threat to democracy. And then these are the same people that try to censor him from these large social media platforms. They say Elon is threatening democracy by letting the de facto opposition leader in our country have a platform that he didn't even use until yesterday, aside from like one post over the past 2 years. Like, seriously? These people are clowns, and we got to do everything in our power to defeat these people come November, because they're just going to keep taking more and more, gaslighting more and more, destroy the country more and more. Now they're trying to be like, oh, well, we're actually going to, secure the border. They've been saying this for a long time now. And they blame Republicans for something that they literally did. They opened the border. Their policies did it. Republicans passed a border bill that was very tough and would not give amnesty, and they said no. And then they try to pass this nonsensical border bill that just moves some things around and doesn't solve the problem, and did not even have enough support from their own caucus for it to pass. And they're saying, well, this is all Donald Trump's fault, who is not even a United States senator. So that's kind of what they're doing. And they're gaslighting. It's all they do on every issue. Oh, foreign policy. Trump said something positive about Putin. It's like Trump understands the art of the deal and understands foreign policy better than you. And Trump was the first president in a very, very long time where Putin did not invade another country. He did it under Obama. He did it under Bush. He's done it for a long time. He has not done it under Donald Trump. He did it under Biden. And probably it's going to get even worse and worse under the next administration, regardless of how much money gets thrown at this conflict by our leadership in government. So either way, every single issue, Donald Trump touched base on it effectively. And there's really no positive response from these people. They'll never give one. But there's no truthful response from them either, because they can't give one. So they have to just lie and gaslight, and it's just stupid. You know, Biden can't sit down for 2 hours. Harris can't even sit down for 2 seconds with the media. She's been the presumptive nominee for, 3 weeks now. She's been in the race. We have, I think, 13 weeks until Election Day. You know, she doesn't want to debate Trump. She's dodging. She only accepted one of the 3 debates. There's usually 3 debates during a presidential cycle. Donald Trump already debated once, but he wants to debate his opponent, his real opponent, now 3 times. She accepted one of the debates on the most hostile network to Trump, where there is a conflict of interest, but he doesn't care. He's going to show up anyways. He's going to do it because Donald Trump is not a coward. He's going to show up, but Harris doesn't want to show up. And part of it is because Harris, just like Biden, cannot also complete a sentence. She can't use dementia as an excuse, though. She's just not a very intellectually strong individual. And her whole career is proof of that. And you listen to her in front of the media before, talking about Venn diagrams, talking about, oh, well, Russia invaded a smaller country in Ukraine, and that is wrong. And that's what, it's just childish. It's like people had to explain this to her like she's a 5-year-old. You know, she's not somebody who can really appeal to the people. She has to read off a teleprompter at every speech, gives the same exact speech. And even then, she's not even doing as many events this week as she was doing last week, which, they clown Trump for. But I think Trump has more events planned than she does. I could be wrong about that, but she's doing one event on Friday. Trump's doing one tomorrow, and then he's doing one on Saturday, both in swing states. And now Trump is outspending Harris in enough swing states to get him to 270. That was never the case in 2016 or 2020. And maybe that can change because Harris got all this money, but Trump is, fundraising a lot as well. So it's going to be a competitive election spending wise, and we can't take our foot off the gas. But man, Trump is back on Twitter, and he's actually posting on message stuff, and he's leaving, his other trolling to Truth Social. It's the best of both worlds. It really is. And that's why they're upset, and that's why they're coping. So anyways, guys, thanks for watching this video. Like this video down below, comment down below, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell for notifications so you never miss another video. Follow me on social media. The links are all in the description down below, and I will see you guys in the next one. Red Eagle, out.